She didn't just analyze the market, she anticipated the shift. Leadership today demands more than experience. It requires foresight, adaptability, and the courage to act before the headlines catch up. You don't have to be a global conglomerate to think like The Economist. Even small businesses need big picture thinking, because scale isn't the starting point. Strategy is. CEOs who thrive aren't just managing operations, they're managing uncertainty. They don't just read trends, they build around them. They invest in systems that grow with them, not ones that collapse under pressure. Want to scale? Start with clarity. What's your moat in a noisy market? What inefficiency can you turn into opportunity? What pain point are you solving really? Your business plan isn't just about profit, it's about positioning. While others chase short-term gains, you're building long-term trust. That means paying attention to the data and the people, knowing your CAC, but also knowing your customer, tracking your EBITDA, but also investing in empathy, because your bottom line is only as strong as your front line. When your team feels seen, they stay. When your purpose is clear, they push through the storm. When your leadership is human, your business becomes unstoppable. So, ask yourself, are you optimizing or just operating? Are you reacting or refining? Are you scaling or just getting bigger? Growth without depth is a house of cards, but growth with insight? That's infrastructure. Look beyond the balance sheet. What policies are shaping your sector? What innovations are changing how your customers behave? What's your business doing today to stay relevant tomorrow? The Economist doesn't just report the news. It explains the why behind the what. And that's exactly what you should be doing for your company. Tell your team the why. Tell your customers the why. Tell yourself the why. Because strategy without narrative is just math. And business without meaning is just survival. So lead like it matters, because it does. Your leadership sets the tone for the next generation of entrepreneurs. Your decisions ripple through communities. Your values shape your valuation. Whether you're building a fintech solution or a neighborhood bakery, the principles are the same. Build lean, but think long. Move fast, but stay grounded. Innovate, but don't forget to listen. Celebrate the first sale. Celebrate the first fail. Celebrate the first time you made it through a hard month and showed up anyway, because that's what real leadership looks like. Not just success, but sustainability. Not just profits, but progress. Not just management, but movement. You are not just running a business. You're building a blueprint for the future of African enterprise.
The world isn't waiting, and neither should you. Regulations will change. Currencies will fluctuate. Markets will rise and fall. But leadership, that's the constant. You don't control the environment. You control how you respond to it. Recessions test resilience. Competition sharpens creativity. And constraints, they birth the most brilliant innovation. So when the runway feels short, ask, what can I automate? What can I simplify? What can I delegate so I can elevate? Because CEOs who micromanage rarely scale, and founders who refuse to evolve eventually fade. You're not here to do it all. You're here to build a system that gets it done with or without you. The best leaders build legacies, not dependencies. That starts with frameworks, with hiring for mindset, not just resumes, with building processes that don't collapse when you're offline for 48 hours. Think systems, think scale, think succession, because if your business can't grow without you, then maybe it hasn't grown at all. Let's talk about capital. Raising funds is great, but so is raising standards. Before you chase your next investor, optimize the operations you already have. Don't let hype become a substitute for health. Viral doesn't mean viable, and fast doesn't always mean forward. Growth should be a choice, not an accident. Know your burn rate. Track your churn, but more than that, know your mission. What will your customers still remember in 10 years? Not the discount, not the feature list, but the experience. The way you made them feel. The problem you helped them solve. Customer loyalty isn't bought. It's earned. It's the email you sent after a bad review. It's the transparency in your pricing. It's the apology that came before the excuse. That's business at its best. Not just efficient but ethical. Not just profitable but principled. Because in a world chasing disruption, trust is your greatest differentiator. So protect your integrity like it's equity, because it is. This is your era. To reimagine how African businesses operate. To create jobs that uplift, not just employ. To build companies that outlast fads and outperform expectations. And when it gets hard, good. It means you're building something real. So keep showing up. Keep refining the vision. Keep betting on yourself even when no one else does. Because every great economy starts with one small business that refused to stay small. And that business might just be yours.
So stay sharp, stay curious. There's no formula for the future, but there is a framework. It starts with vision clear enough to inspire, flexible enough to evolve. Because what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow, and what seems risky now might be your advantage later. Resilience isn't just about endurance, it's about adjustment. Can your business model bend without breaking? Can your pricing adapt to inflation? Can your people thrive through pivots? Adaptation isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Too many leaders cling to the old playbook in a market that's rewritten daily. But real leadership is about learning fast, constantly, and publicly. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need the courage to ask better questions, like, where am I overbuilding? Where am I underinvesting? What's costing me energy but not driving growth? Because sometimes growth comes from cutting back, from saying no, from doubling down on what actually moves the needle. Refinement is a form of power. And so is rest. You can't scale burnout. You can't lead exhausted. High performance doesn't mean high pressure 24/7. It means making decisions from a place of clarity, not chaos. So take the break, protect your bandwidth, honor your energy as much as your calendar, because the business reflects the builder. If you're overwhelmed, it will show. If you're aligned, it will multiply. So choose alignment. Align your product with your purpose. Align your team with your vision. Align your systems with your season. What got you here may not get you there, and that's okay. Evolution is not a threat, it's the goal. You're not just managing a company, you're shaping a culture. You're changing the narrative of African business. So let it be different. Let it be better. Let it be yours. Lead with intention, build with heart, and execute with excellence. Because it's not just about being first to market, it's about being the one they remember. Thank you for showing up, for thinking bigger, and for building boldly. Whether you're running a startup or scaling a legacy brand, you're part of something larger than revenue and reports. You're part of a movement, one that's redefining leadership, reshaping economies, and rewriting the rules. If this message spoke to you, share it with your team, with your network, with the next version of you. And for more insights like this practical, powerful, and purpose-driven, subscribe to Streetwise Success TV. This is where leadership meets action. This is where African excellence takes the spotlight. We're just getting started. Build wise, lead well, and build something worth writing about.